Well, look at him and say, hey.
Hi. Happy Sunday.
Yes, it is Sunday where we are. Say it again, Brooklyn.
If y'all went to church and the preacher said, you should know that, I just want to tell y'all God loves you. That we are at a place called Crown War Park.
Yes, we are coming to one of our favorite places. And so I wanted to do a video really quickly because I know that I did one last time and the audio was awful. And if y'all haven't seen it, that means that I couldn't figure out how to take the audio background sound out.
Well, God
and so,
made you special, and He loves you very much.
aww. Yeah, so this is just something that we've been talking about lately.
God is always with you.
Y'all better preach.
And God is always around you.
He's everywhere. And it is so important nowadays, especially us Christians. I'm going to start it out. Y'all know I say it a lot. I'm going to say it forever because we have to get it in our heads that we are the real influencers in this world. And so it's very important. I like to have these conversations with my kids and with myself to be reminded that we are the light of the world. We are the salt of the earth. We are the ones that give it its flavor. We are the ones that preserve this world. We are the ones that can change it, make it a better place. We shine light. We shine love. We shine goodness. And all that in this world. Those are not options if you're a child of God. And something I'm just reminded of is when we come into these spaces, and wherever you are in the daily doings and the daily walkings and the daily, places that you are every, day, that is your assignment. It's very important that we show up intentionally. And we have to remind ourselves we're not just going to this place to blend in. It's very important, even at parks like this with lots of people. I specifically want to go and just have a smile.
Excuse me, Mommy. And if you feel alone, you will already know that God is with you. And look at God is always going to protect you from bad strangers.
Well, this is the kids takeover session, but they preaching. They saying stuff. And it's so true. God is with us. He is with you. You don't have to know a lot. And that's what I'm reminding myself of. Because even though I love studying the Bible, every time I study it, I'm seeing there's something else that I need to learn. Or even from the same passage. God shows us something new out of that passage. And it is just so important that no matter how much or how little, sorry, somebody was asking for the spot, that you show up how you are, like as in where you are in your walk with God. If you know who God is, you know that He is the God of grace and mercy. You don't have to have the big extravagant lesson prepared or your words completely prepared of what you're going to say. And I think that's what's holding us back. We are feeling that we are unprepared, or we are just so lost in our relationship right now with God. And even God is so big in that. Like, you don't have to have it all together. He never expected us to. He never expected us to have it all together. And so I think that's where we're all falling behind, because the world is out here being who the world is supposed to be. It's supposed to be chaotic. It's supposed to be a mess, because they're waiting on us to show up and show different perspectives and to give, shine light on the goodness of God. And so it's very important that if you breathing and walking and being here now, that's very important to tell somebody about, or even just to show up and be a positive face, in the atmosphere that you're in. Change the narrative. Sometimes if you're not confident to, tell somebody that they're having a conversation that they shouldn't be having, just change the narrative maybe in that conversation. I've been guilty of that lately.
Just in order to cuss.
That is true.
Like you getting in trouble, or don't like you loving, stop loving you. I got the rainbow.
The children are always listening. So that's also another lesson as well. And that is true. We would get in trouble. We would do things. God doesn't like that stuff. But His mercy covers us. His grace is sufficient. it never runs out as long as we turn our heart back to him. And it's so important that we understand that. There's just a message that the church needs to hear. We have to show up where we are. God is with you. He's going to carry you. It's just so many things we need to discuss as Christians, because we have to not be so in awe and shocked with what is happening in the world, because this is what said was going to happen. And it's very important that we show up and stop being on the sidelines. And like I was saying, even with me lately, I've noticed that I've been in certain conversations that are not honestly showing up as who I usually am. And the beautiful thing about it is that when you've shown up before, the people who know you and who have experienced you, I've had people tell me, Regina, I did start to see you change. And I'm here for the wake-up call and the spanking, because that shows them that I'm not showing up for who I am. They see that I've changed, and so they know that that's not my default, or that's not who I usually show up as. And so you got to have people around you, have a community who is a discerning community. And these people ain't even my community. They people who just I work around with. And I love that they were able to tell me that and to call that out for me. And I loved it, and I listened. Because I felt that about myself, because me trying to be a servant and a service to other people, sometimes we got to know that everybody ain't your assignment, or you have to be aware of like where you are in your assignment and where you are in your season of life. You got to continue to ask God. That's why I continue to do the girl prayer, and I'm able to ask, hold on one second, Brooklyn. I continue to ask him, like, how do you want me to show up today? And those moments that I don't really ask, you kind of just walking around waiting on just whatever to happen. And even as a Christian, it's very important that we plan, that we are proactive, that we are intentional, because that's the God we serve. And so that's just a quick little check-in. I want to come with you all. Show up where you are, how you are. Satan wants you to think that you are, he wants you to shame you and to guilt you. He wants you to think that you can't show up.
He wants you to think that you're not the best, and he wants you to think that you are not smart, and if you have a test tomorrow on Monday, or if you don't have school on Monday, just know that you study. So the devil thinks that you're smart, but you are smart. And think that you are okay. If somebody very mean to you, tell your parents. They will be okay.
That's the message for the children, but they just said somewhere for all of us. Satan wants you to think that just because you don't have something coming up, that you don't need to be studying. But you still need to study. Y'all. The kids have spoken, so they're gonna show up some more, because they helping me right now. But people are trying to park.
And if somebody upset you and they wanna go in your spot, say no, and just move on.
Oh, they saying that because somebody trying to get the space in front of us, and they can have it. So we're gonna get ready to go out to the park, and I'm just so proud of my children. They did a great job. In
and we
church.
did good at church too.
Yes, they did. Yeah, they did. And so we're about to have a good time just at the park and enjoying ourselves. And then it's gonna be to chores and
I
responsibility.
Because God had a responsibility for us to do chores. So it don't matter if you don't want to do it or not. See, it said church too. You see church? You see church on this? Y'all see church? Y'all see church?
Hold on, let me just back up. They on there. I'm looking at this car pulling up. Let me help them, because they need a little space. All right, y'all say bye to the people.
Bye y'all. And God loves y'all so much. And he gave his only son for y'all, and he gave his only daughter and son. That means y'all and the parents. God made you special, and he loves you very much. Bye.
Bye-bye. Pause the grind. Plug into God and pamper yourself, girl. And bros, this ain't in for the sisters.
And hate the devil. He is so the worst.
He is annoying.
And he is so bad. And if you work with him, you are going to be as bad with him.
That's correct. Bye-bye, y'all.
Bye.